Alright, well guys, here we are again with another LEGO Star Wars Complete Saga related video. Yeah, there's still more videos to come even after the supercut that was a couple months ago. But yeah, anyway, you've read the title, and today I'm going to be ranking every single level in the Complete Saga. I have no clue how long this video is going to be, but something I do have a clue about is that I'm actually going to be starting a new little ranking system for this series, depending on how many LEGO games I do. So yeah, I'm gonna rank how many games. I'm gonna rank every single game based on how many levels there are. So here's the list for the first 3 games: LEGO Star Wars 1, LEGO Star Wars 2, and the Complete Saga. As you can see, LEGO Star Wars 1 is at 3rd place with 17. Not the Complete Saga. LEGO Star Wars 2 is in 2nd with 18, and the Complete Saga is in 1st so far with 36. But yeah, anyway, let's get into the ranking. Number 36 is Hoth Battle. And now, whenever people talk about the worst level in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, I feel like most people will say Gunship Cavalry is the worst, but no. For me, Hoth Battle is the worst. Every part of it is just so rage-inducing. The first part, you're just shooting, it's the best part. You have to avoid the walkers and just throw bombs at the wall. The second part, it gets more annoying with the AT-ATs shooting the bombs. And then the worst part is the last one. It's the last section where you have to kill like 3 of each enemy that you see in the level. The Imperial droids, the walkers, and the AT-ATs. And it is so rage-inducing, it just makes me want to give up on life. Number 35 is Falcon Flight. Now, this level and Hoth Battle are in the same ranking as infuriating, but the only reason why I put this above Hoth Battle is because there is one section of just pure enjoyment, is whenever you went into the monster thing's mouth, and there's just stud multiplier, and you just farm for the little torpedo things. But yeah, what makes this as bad as Hoth Battle is that just A, the enemy spam is annoying, and B, it relies on just RNG to get the torpedoes, and it's so annoying to do. At number 34 is Gunship Cavalry. Yeah, I'm still not going easy on it. I really hate this level. But the reason why I put it above the other 2 is because at least the end isn't as infuriating and is for longer than just a simple section where you farm torpedoes. But yeah, other than that, it's just like the other 2. It sucks. Number 33, Death Star Escape. Now, what makes our first non-vehicle mission so bad? Well, A, the large amounts of enemy spam, and B, just overall how boring this level is. This level only really has 2 puzzles in the entire thing. And the enemy spam, the main reason why it's so low, is just so bad and annoying. You think shooting 50 stormtroopers at once is fun? No, it is really, really annoying. But even if it didn't have the enemy spam, it probably wouldn't be much higher, but Number 32, Speeder Showdown. Now, this does have a lot of enemy spam, but not as bad as Death Star Escape. But still, the speeders part, the main part of the level, is so annoying. And still, at the end, where you're fighting the big AT-AT, which, by the way, didn't even happen in the movie, is also just bad and annoying and just so unfun to play. So, yeah, it's not really much to say. Number 31, Defense of Kashyyyk. Now, this level doesn't have as bad as enemy spam as Death Star Escape, but it does have some pretty bad enemy spam, but it doesn't have any annoying sections like Speeder Showdown. Sure, this is the more enjoyable out of the past 3, but yeah, the reason why it's so low is just A, it's kind of boring to me, and B, and just, I don't know what B is, but it's just kind of boring. Number 30, Rescue the Princess. Now, this follows the exact same thing as around the past 2, which is just kind of plain boring. There weren't many things that interested me in this level, so that's why it's pretty low on the list. And number 29 is Into the Death Star, aka the final level of the game, and coming back to the vehicle missions, actually. But yeah, what makes this level so low is that it isn't really boring per se. It's just that it's kind of annoying being a vehicle mission and all. That's what you kind of expect with these. But yeah, the final part was actually pretty good whenever you're trying to avoid all the explosions. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite part of the level. But other than that, this level was all around just meh. Number 28, Rebel Attack. Now, this is probably the first vehicle mission that isn't really all that bad 100% of the time. Sure, the end, say if you accidentally skip the torpedo thing, you get chased back by the little TIE fighters, but that's really all. Other than that, this level is fine. It's really the same thing, just like 3 times, so nothing really else to say. Number 27, Mos Eisley Spaceport. Continuing off with the New Hope levels is, of course, like I just said, the Mos Eisley Spaceport. Overall, this level is kind of boring. The beginning is really, really bad, in my opinion. The boss fight at the end isn't all that great, because you just literally, it can last less than a second if you wanted to. You just have to be precise with your shots. But the whole walker part before you meet Han is really annoying, but other than that, meh. Just like all the other levels recently, so yeah. Number 26, Retake Theed Palace. And this is actually the start of a new area, which, in my opinion, the levels aren't that bad and aren't that great either. There isn't anything bad about them, and there isn't really anything good to say about them either, so just overall meh. And the worst one is our first Phantom Menace level, Retake Theed Palace. And I gotta say, my favorite part of this level is whenever you're rescuing the little Naboo pilots at the end, but still, not really that great. Number 25, Bounty Hunter Pursuit. Now, this level is kind of hated in this community, but in my opinion, it's alright. The boss fight is, again, pretty plain, just shoot Zam Wessel a couple times, and the part that people really hate is the part with the generators, which I do kind of find kind of annoying, but not too bad. And it's a vehicle mission that I like, which is surprising. Number 24, The Great Pit of Carkoon. Now, again, this level is pretty good, but there's only one real problem with it. In my opinion, the end is kind of boring, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the part wherever you're just jamming out with the Gamorrean guards, but just after that point, whenever you save Leia, the level gets kind of boring for me. The boss fight is alright too, but adds a good obstacle to the level, but that's why I put it here. Number 23, The Battle of Endor. Now, again, I have the same problem with this as the Great Pit of Carkoon. The beginning of the level and middle of the level is great, fantastic, but the end of the level, for me, it's kind of boring. I put it above the Great Pit of Carkoon because I love traveling through Ewok Village and fighting through all the stormtroopers before you get into the actual base. But, yeah, other than that, pretty great level. Number 22, Through the Junlin Wastes. Now, at this point, we're getting to the levels that are top tier, are absolute fire. And the worst one out of the absolute fire levels is Through the Junlin Wastes. Now, there's nothing really necessarily bad about it. I love most of this level. Especially whenever you're saving R2 and C-3PO from the Jawas. Something that doesn't make sense to me is that in the cutscene, Luke gets R2 and 3PO, but then the Jawas just steal them back. I don't know, I watched the movie, but still doesn't really make sense to me why they did that in the game. Number 21, Ruin of the Jedi. This level is also pretty great, because you just going through the Jedi ruins, which was a short scene that turned into a freaking level, which, I don't know why. I just love how it's so short and sweet. I love the short and sweet levels. If I were to actually play the LEGO Star Wars 1 on my own, I'm sure it would probably be one of my favorite LEGO games of all time. Just, the prequels in this game were great, and I don't know why I like them so much. I just do. They're just short and sweet, and I love short and sweet stuff. Number 20, Battle over Coruscant. Another short and sweet level from Revenge of the Sith, and this is the last vehicle mission that we have in at least a couple parts. Over 10 parts at least. Spoiler alert, sorry, but yeah, anyway, back to the level. I like this level mainly because it's the only vehicle level, besides from another one, that doesn't have just so much enemy spam and isn't just plain annoying. It's easy to do and is, in my opinion, a very great start to the Revenge of the Sith gameplay levels. Number 19, Betrayal over Bespin. Now, this level is also pretty great from beginning to end. And the last part, which was also happened in a Death Star escape, where you just had to fight off a bunch of stormtroopers in order to get back into the Millennium Falcon. It also happened in the Mos Eisley Spaceport level as well. But in my opinion, they did it actually right in this level. Plus, the boss fight, it's alright. It's not the best, but I mean, it was a fun little addition to the level. And slowly getting R2 and C3PO as well was pretty great. And the outside section, whenever you had to just traverse through Bespin, was pretty great. So, pretty solid level. Number 18, Secret Plans. Marking the halfway point and being the best level in A New Hope, this level is pretty good. It has a lot of dueling scenes, but not, well, shootout scenes, I should say, with the stormtroopers and the rebels, which are really fun to play. And the end, whenever you just completely abandon Princess Leia and unlock the Giga Chad that is Rebel Friend, it's also pretty fun as well. So, yeah, solid level, 10 out of 10. Way better than any other of the New Hope levels, maybe except through the Junlin Wastes. Number 17, Escape from Naboo. Another short and sweet prequel level, which is also in the Phantom Menace, this is actually the second Phantom Menace level. Wow. And it's in the halfway mark? Okay, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But, yeah, I've noticed a theme here, that the worst two levels were the castle levels for the Phantom Menace. But yeah, anyway, this level is a great level. You just traverse through the castle and trying to escape until you meet up with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. Pretty great level, pretty solid, pretty short and sweet, just like I like them, like I've stated multiple times before. Number 16, Invasion of Naboo. Another Phantom Menace level, which also has the name Naboo in the title. This, like every single other prequel level, short and sweet level. I'm gonna stop referring to that from now on, I swear to God. But yeah, this level is great to me because just running through Naboo forest and then you eventually meet up with Jar Jar Binks is just so iconic to me, and I love it. And in case you can't tell, The Phantom Menace is arguably one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It's not arguably, if it's my opinion, but yeah. I don't know why I like the movie. If a lot of people hate it, I tend to have wrong opinions. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, this level's pretty great. Beginning through end, especially the end, whenever you jump through the water to go through the Naboo, the Gungan Palace place. Anyway, moving on. Number 15, Jabba's Palace. Another really great level. Just the reason why I like it so much is that throwing bombs as Leia is really fun. That's what I did for most of the level whenever I played it. Well, whenever I replayed it, because all my progress was deleted after the series I posted. I just threw bombs as Leia at everything, and it was a vibe. And the Rancor boss fight at the very end was also great. It was very unique. Whenever you just pick up the Gamorrean guards, then just feed them to the Rancor. And I don't really have any complaints about this level. I love how you just slowly gather all the members of your party. Luke, then C-3PO and R2-D2, and then Han Solo finally. And yeah, and the Gamorrean guards, if you build a boombox, they just vibe out. It's great. Great level. Number 14, Escape from Echo Base. This level is fantastic to me because I don't know why, just Hoth is probably one of my favorite planets in Star Wars, just a whole ice planet. But yeah, just traversing through Echo Base and trying to find an escape out of it is also pretty cool. It's also pretty fun. And then slowly meeting up with Chewbacca and C-3PO. If you haven't tell, I love those types of levels by now. Yeah, this is just an overall great level. Just the final part where you have to repair the Millennium Falcon with the Tauntauns shooting you up onto the roof. Then the train section that was for 5 seconds. But yeah, great level. Number 13, Dagobah. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone can agree that the real enemy of this level are those freaking bats. Unlike stormtroopers or just the General Grievous's bodyguards in one of the levels, you can, kill them without them hitting you. But the bats? No, they can hit you even if you're swinging at them. But other than that, this level is great. The Darth Vader boss fight at the end is pretty good. And just overall, and at the end where I think you have to use Yoda in order to get Luke's X-Wing out at the end, but I don't know. I always use Yoda for some reason, because for me, it doesn't seem to work with Luke. But anyway, I love Dagobah. Just like Hoth, Dagobah is probably one of my favorite planets. Just a swampy planet. And it's probably one of the most iconic planets in Star Wars. Number 12, Chancellor in Peril. I was actually just referring to this level last segment with the Grievous Bodyguards. But yeah, speaking of Grievous Bodyguards, the Count Dooku boss fight in the middle of the middle of the level is pretty fantastic, I have to say. It's relatively the same as his first fight, except minus the interruption from Yoda. But yeah, he just shocks you. Well, you just hit him, he shocks you, then he runs away. But yeah. This also unlocks one of the most useless characters in the game, being Chancellor Palpatine, which does absolutely nothing. You can go through the entire level without playing as him. But yeah, other than that, pretty solid level. Great level, actually. Number 11, Droid Factory. With a pretty basic name like that, it sure is high up on the list. And is, well, it's 11 on the list, so of course it's one of my favorite levels. But why is it my favorite level? Well, for starters, you already know why. It's short and sweet. I know I said I wouldn't say that again, but I'm sorry. Officially, starting now, no longer saying it again. But the entire level is focused on saving Obi-Wan, and just like Hoth and Dagobah, Geonosis is one of my favorite planets. And the whole factory theme is just so pretty to look at. And also technically some parkour as well. It's also great, fantastic. Number 10, Jedi Battle. Man, you thought the names couldn't get basicer. But yeah, we're now in the top 10, and it is Jedi Battle that starts it off. What makes this level so great is just the first half of it. Well, the first part is just saving Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan, which has my favorite version of Anakin in the game, which for some reason isn't a character with him and his green saber, which kind of makes sense. But yeah, the second part is just destroying some droids, which can be kind of annoying, but it's fun to try to find them all. And the third part is the Jango Fett boss fight, which is also an amazing boss fight. But yeah, this level is, I'm not going to say it again, but you know what I'm going to say. But yeah, and at the end, Yoda comes in and saves us all. Then starts the annoying gunship cavalry level in the very next level. Number 9, Negotiations, the level that started off LEGO games. Yeah, sure, it may be very, very, very short, but it sure is a classic, which is not the reason why it's up here. It is a fun level, and you already know why I love it. Short and sweet. Okay, for last time I'm saying it. But, yeah, just running through the hallways of the trade battleship slicing battle droids as Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon is super fun. And at the end, where you're just in that big room, then you just kill all the battle droids in there. Also very fun. So, yeah, I think I just like killing things in games. Number 8, Count Dooku. Our first boss fight level and the final level for Attack the Clones. Yeah, and one thing I love about this level is that the amount of teamwork, well, isn't much, but the teamwork that you have to use in the first part of the level, which, to be fair, can be really annoying if you're playing with two people and the other person does not want to cooperate. The boss fight is also really great, except just like the one in Chancellor in Peril, except there's a Yoda tag in, which, yeah, great, pretty solid level, pretty solid boss fight too. Count Dooku is probably one of my favorite Siths, so that also gets extra points. Not really. Number 7, Darth Vader. Remember how I said that the first part of Count Dooku required some teamwork? Well, this also requires a lot of teamwork until the very end with the boss fight, which the boss fight is very good. And I like the section with the little bars where you have to put them up in order to have more time. It's a great level, great boss fight, all around, just great thing. Also, this is the first time, this game came out before the Revenge of the Sith came out, so this is the first time people saw Anakin and Obi-Wan square down, which is really funny to me. Number 6, Darth Maul. We have yet another boss fight level, which is Darth Maul, which is the first boss fight in LEGO game history. So, the first phase of the fight is pretty epic. He just throws the barrels at you, and yeah, then you have to just throw it back at him. Then you have to chase him through the palace, and then you just square down with him right then and there in the final part. And then Qui-Gon dies, which is hashtag so sad. But yeah, this level is great. It is a great first boss. Really gave us the impression of what boss fights are going to be like in this game. And yeah, really no complaints. Number 5, Mos Espa Pod Race. Now, I know this may shock a lot of people, because I know a lot of people hate this level, but I love it. It is easily the best vehicle mission, and I don't even know if I should count it as a vehicle mission. It's just, I don't know, but I love the pod race in the movie, and I love the pod race in this game. And yeah, it's better than the boss fight. But, and I think people are still getting this confused with the first game's version where it was actually timed, which I'm sure was a chore. I haven't played it. But this version is really fun. It isn't timed. The mini kits are really easy to get. And just the satisfaction of beating Sebulba gets me every single time. Number 4, Jedi Destiny. The final boss of the game is pretty solid, and kind of like the bats in Dagobah, we have the freaking Imperial Guards, which are really annoying, and the best strategy, just choke them out. Yeah, but other than that, this boss fight is really fun to play. You can just tag team them as Luke and Vader, which I'm sure is really fun for co-op. I don't have friends to play this with, so yeah, I can't really experience that. But yeah, this level is great. The cooperation between Luke and Vader, and you really shows you what the Dark Force ability can do, which is great. Number 3, General Grievous. One of my favorite boss fight levels, mainly for the reason that just how unique this boss fight is. There are so many elements in here that can be used to damage General Grievous. And unlike most boss fights where they only really use the lightsaber character, you use both of them. And in fact, I think you might use Cody more than Obi-Wan in this, just because of how much you use Cody in this level. Yeah, the reason why this is one of my favorite levels is because of just the character cooperation, which, like I've stated before, it could be really fun if you have another person to play this with. But yeah, there are in fact, however, 2 more levels that do beat this. Number 2, Discovery on Kamino. I'm gonna skip straight to the point on why I love this level, the boss fight at the end. It is so fun to play whenever you're just trying to defeat Jango Fett, and while the Slave One is just shooting at you. It provides so much of a challenge, and I just love it. And I love that you can deactivate it with R4P17. And I know people like to joke about it, how the little brother always got to be R4P17 when playing this level. But he's pretty useful. He needed to access some areas and cut off some of the droids. But yeah, not a bad level, really. And even the beginning, whenever you're helping the Tom Wee or whatever their name is, fix a little satellite thing. Very, very solid level. Yeah, but there is one more that beats it. And that is number 1, Cloud City Trap. Now, in case it hasn't been increasingly obvious, I love the boss fight levels in this game. And this happens to be one of my favorite boss fights, and just levels in general. So, the first phase of the boss fight includes you just, hitting Darth Vader 2 times. Then he goes to one of the little pads at the edge. Then you use R2-D2 to make smoke rise out of the things. And you do that a couple times, and then phase 2 is just hitting him. Is pretty much the same thing, except he elevates to a different point. And stage 3 is whenever he throws things at you. Then you have to use R2-D2 to deactivate the stormtrooper panels, and then part 4 is the whole reveal of Darth Vader being Luke's father, which is probably one of the most iconic scenes in Star Wars, and this level is all around just great. So yeah, that's my ranking of every single LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga level. There are going to be more videos about this game coming soon, just not right now, because I don't know, I just made this, so there's gonna be in like a couple days. But yeah, anyway, that's that. Hope you all guys did enjoy, and goodbye.